Hello and welcome to New Parents in Training. So the Samsung Galaxy S23 just came out and I pre-ordered it, and today it finally got in and I'm going to unbox today. Later on, I'm going to do a comparison between the S22 and S23 to see whether or not you should do the upgrade. Now, if you have been following our channel, you will know that I never pay the Samsung product at the full retail price. Samsung usually have a pretty generous trade-in program. So with the trade-in for my S22, I'm able to get $250 off for my S23. Also, if you are first responder or an educator, you also get a percentage off as well. You can check out their website to see the full range of discounts that they offer. As a way of incentive, Samsung is currently selling the S23, the 256 gig version, as the 128 gig version, which is at $799 retail price. So that's a good freebie that they give you. But at the same time, there are a whole lot of other stuff that they give out as well, such as $100 credit. Lastly, Rakuten. At the time of filming, Rakuten also gives out a 15% cashback on Samsung product. So with this purchase, I actually got over $90 cashback with Rakuten. So with a $100 credit that Samsung gave me, I spent on the Galaxy Watch 5. But you don't have to. It's not limited to only the watch. So anyway, first up, let's unbox the S23. Okay, so it's a cover. Take this out. All right, so there is this cover on the front of the phone. This looks much better than the S22, that's for sure. I like the glass back. And let's see what else do they have. SIM card ejector pin, quick start guide, and USB-C cable. All right, so this is the phone itself. It's very sleek looking. All right, so before I move on to unboxing the watch, I just want to point out that this company called Simtect, they sent out this case for the S23. And want to unbox it and then try it out. Oh, okay, so they provide you with this will help wipe the screen. And let's see, the case itself is a clear plastic case. It goes right over. Now this will help out smooth out the bump, the camera bump on the back. It's not much of rocking. And also you can still see the back side, pretty grippy as well. So it's not gonna slip out your hand while you're using it. Alright, so this is the product from Simtect, and it's the clear cell phone case for the S23. Alright, so that was the unboxing of the S23, and as far as for the Watch 5, I was gonna do a separate video for that, and stay tuned. Alright, so let's talk about the main difference between the S22 and S23. Is it worth the upgrade? Now, as far as for the design, they pretty much look similar from outset, aside from the back of the cameras. S23 now is more synchronized with the whole lineup as far as for the camera design, which gave rid of the hump on the back, which looked really nice to me as far as compared to S22. As far as for the dimension, the S23 is slightly bigger and thicker compared to S22, but with the same screen size. Being that is probably because it has bigger battery. Now granted, the battery is actually slightly bigger than S22, coming at 3900 mAh versus 3700 mAh. Now with the dimension so similar, with a case that you had on the S22, would it fit onto S23? Well, the answer is no. Even though it will fit, but because the side buttons are not designed in the same way, with S23 a little bit higher compared to S22. So if you try to put your S22 case onto the S23, it's not going to fit perfectly. Now let's talk about the performance. Now with S23, the chipset now is Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. This particular version is actually more optimized for the S23 lineup. It is slightly overclocked versus the regular Gen 2 chipsets. Performance is actually much better than the Gen 1 chipset that you found in S22. So I did a stress test using the 3D Mark and ran it for 20 minutes of the test to see the benchmark. With the end result was S23 has at least 50% better performance versus the S22. Now, as I mentioned earlier, S23 does have slightly bigger battery compared to S22. Now, if you have used S22, you will know that you have to charge up in the middle of the day. I typically have to charge up in the afternoon. Definitely would not make it to nighttime in one single charge. I was hoping that with S23, slightly bigger battery and more efficient chipset, it will help the battery life. But in this case, it does not. When I was doing the 3D Mark test, at the end of the 20 minutes, both were down to the same amount of the battery left in the phone, which is a bit disappointed. I was hoping that S23 would have a longer battery life. Now, aside from the chipsets being upgraded, everything else seemed to be similar. All the cameras on the back are same, and only different is the front camera. The front camera S22 was at 10 megapixel, but S23 is at 12 megapixel. Here are some of the pictures and videos I have taken using both. You'll be the judge whether or not S23 outperform S22. To me, it's potato. They both look pretty much the same to me, with S23 a little bit nicer photo and a little bit better video quality. Now, however, the stabilization mode on the S23 is much better than the S22. Now, when I have that mode turned on, I was able to take better video at Quad HD versus S22. You can only take it in full HD mode. With that being turned on, the video came out to be less jitter versus the S22. You can actually see it's being up and down a little bit more. The last thing is S23, the 8K mode, now you can shoot at 30 frames per second versus S22 at only up to 24 frames per second for 8K mode. My final thought about S23, whether or not you should upgrade, is if you have S21 or older, then you should definitely consider to upgrade to S23 to take advantage of the trade-in and also the current incentive that Samsung has to offer. However, if you have S22 and newer, then you should skip the upgrade. Alright, so this is my review of the S23. If you have any questions, comment down below. Until next time, bye.